Hello, Astro Spirit family. This is Michael, and welcome to another podcast. Today, we are going to talk about how to connect to your blessings for the rest of the month and also for the rest of the year. But before we get into that, just a quick reminder as to what astro spirituality is. So, essentially, Spirituality uses astrological knowledge and spiritual wisdom to help you understand yourself and your relationship with humanity and the universe by connecting to purpose, self-mastery, and the invisible world through understanding their influences to transform and up-level your life. And essentially, the philosophy on the astrological side that I subscribe to is that, astrology isn't fatalistic. What it does is that it provides and sets up what the energetic backdrop is to your life, and how it's specifically crafted to enable you to become the best, most expressed version of your soul. And to the degree that you raise your consciousness to meet that potential, it's to that degree that you fulfill that prophecy. Anyway, so let's jump into it. So last week we had the new moon in Pisces. And this was a really powerful new moon, particularly because it landed in a leap year. And what this essentially was able to do was it essentially drew in energies around new beginnings, new ways of thinking about dreams, mushrooming your desires, and really connecting to the energy of thinking broader and bigger and feeling bigger and broader. And so it is still and would have been at the time a great time to really start thinking about, your big dreams and how to really make those things happen. And because it lands in the sign of Pisces, we may feel a little bit kind of, you know, like a fish out of water, so to speak, where we find it difficult to make things happen and move it forward, because Pisces is a sign of it's a water sign, so it does kind of make us feel slow sometimes, and kind of like it makes it difficult to get things to move. But as we move into the sign of where the sun moves into Aries, which is coming up in the next week and a half or so, that energy is going to shift, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But before we get into that, let's talk about Pisces and how you can use this energy to really connect to the blessings, the dreams, and the joy that this energy has for you. So the first thing is that Pisces, as we said, is a water sign, and it connects with the subconscious or the unconscious, intuition, and the flow of all limiting beliefs. And so this is really a time where you'll be potentially closing things out, things may have fallen out that you think, why is that falling out, or gone away, dissolving old patterns, letting things go, and really kind of this energy of like birthing spirituality or new spiritual practices would be much of the fore. Anything that's to do with releasing, whether that's from an emotional perspective, emotional baggage, surrendering to high power, all those sorts of things is really, really good right now. And you should really pay attention to the things that are actually leaving your life, because if you try to hold on to things that aren't good for you, that's when you can start to feel suffering. And that's what this sign and this kind of this energy can do if you don't listen to what the universe is essentially saying to you. In this period of time as well, your intuition and dreams will be really, really heightened as well. So Pisces is an intuitive sign, as we talked about before. So it's a really good time to tap into your inner wisdom. What do you really want? What would really going to make your dreams come true? Listen to your dreams; they are valid, and really start to put them out there into the world. Write them down. Really get a visual of them. In your mind's eye, and start thinking about ways that you can actually reach those goals. And these dreams should be expansive. Pisces is about, limitless possibility, right? And so you may start to see recurring symbols or things where you get signs that these things can happen, that these things actually are possible and could happen for you. So really just take a notice of kind of what's going on around you, and in with your dreams, write them down. Go over them, after you've written them down, because they will be giving you signs about where your life could and should be going for your highest good, of course. The other thing is compassion and connection. So Pisces is known for boundless compassion and empathy. And while that's great, you have to also be careful to set your boundaries at a place where your feelings don't merge into other people's. It's a beautiful time to connect with your spirituality, service, forgiveness, and simply holding space for others. And to the degree that you do that, you will start to see more blessings in your life in other areas too. But again, the way to kind of unlock that is to make sure that you are doing it in a healthy way, and you're doing it in a way that serves the other person for the sake of serving the other person. It's not about you, it's about sharing for the sake of sharing. The third thing, or the fourth thing, is around creativity and inspiration. So Pisces is a deeply creative sign as well. And the new moon that happened over a week ago was a really good time to plant the seeds for these new creative projects and endeavors. And it still is a good time to do that as well. So this is how you can connect to your dreams this month, connect to bigger and larger dreams to come in the future. You really plant the seeds in today and now, because you can actually start to, put them into manifestation throughout the rest of the year when the sun moves into Aries, in particular when new beginnings of, and when new beginning energy is kind of rife. And the last thing around this is about universal connection and oneness. This is also a time where you may feel others' pain more deeply, conflicts around the world, suffering, things which are unfair as well. And so this is a really powerful time to kind of reconnect to the cosmos and start thinking about, your beliefs and what do you believe, what do you want to stand up for, and who do you want to stand up for and with. And so it's a great time to also, with that, understand your place in the world and connect to the gratitude of where you are also, because the more that you do that, you're able to kind of tap into this well of oneness and connectedness that we all are, and that would also help you to have a better understanding about where you are in the world and how you connect to humanity and the universe as well. And what underpins all of this is joy. Pisces does represent joy as well. And joy is an internal feeling. It's not reliant on external things. So happiness is. So happiness, if you get a car, if you get a house, if you get a new job, money, whatever it may be, new clothes, you may be happy for a certain amount of time and that energy kind of wanes. Joy doesn't depend on external things. It's an internal place. So you could be sitting in a room by yourself with no windows, for example, and feel complete joy. And that feeling is one that's cultivated by gratitude, and a real understanding of connectivity to yourself. And so this month, and moving forward, when you're thinking about your dreams, really connect to it from a place of internal joy of where you are now, and then direct that energy into what the bigger dreams that you want and that you can have. So when we get towards the end of the month, so the 21st onwards, the sun also now moves into the sign of Aries. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's the initiator, it starts things, it's the motivator. And, it really wants to be the first to kind of do things and kind of initiate things. And so what this symbolizes is coming from the sign of Pisces, the sun, and moving into the sign of Aries, all those things that we talked about in terms of dreams, connectedness, like creativity, kind of what your aspirations are from a bigger perspective, can now start to grow. You can start to put action into those things, and the energies are really at that point of the month, and moving into April, are conducive to doing that. We have an additional supportive transit at that time as well, where the North Node, the transit North Node, and for those who don't know what that is, it's the elliptical mathematical points on the two elliptics of the moon. Um, those that's in currently in Aries, and when the North Node is in a particular sign, it amplifies the sign's qualities even further. And so, what you can also use energetically is their North Node in Aries plus the Sun being in that sign. This can really amp up kind of all of those seeds that you wanted to plant. Well, you did plant in this period of time now of Pisces, and really use that energy to motor forwards as well, which is great. The last thing around this is that, as Aries, the North Node is in the sign of Aries, it means the South Node, so the opposite side, is in the opposite sign, which is Libra. And so within this period of time, where and by the way, Aries, this transit of the North Node and South Node in Aries Libra is going to be here until sort of mid 2025. About it is a particular time where we have to connect with the I, or balance the I from the we. And that I from the we can be in many things. What do I want versus what does my partner want? What do I want versus what does my family want? What does I want? What do I want versus what does my my friends or my work colleagues or a group of people that I work that I connect with, and whatever it is. And it's a really good time to reset boundaries where they need to be and balance those things out. Are you doing enough for yourself? Are you making your own dreams come true, or are you too reliant on somebody else's dreams and making their dreams happen? All these sorts of things are really important, connected to what we've spoken about within the sign, the energies within the Pisces energy. Anyway, with that, I'm going to close. If you want a specific reading on how this period of time is going to affect you specifically and individually, you can find me at aquariusconversations.com. I have a podcast on Spotify as well with the same name, Aquarius Conversations. And you can send me a note there on my website, and I'll be able to book you in and help you figure out how these energies are going to be conducive to you or not, and help you think about how to make the most use of the energies. With that, I'd like to say goodbye and speak to you all very soon.